Yes, I can. I can hear you clearly. Fine. So there's someone here actually. So that. No, that should be Glory, I guess. All right. Do you want me to kick off? All right, that's fine. Thank you so much, Sue. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing today? How's our weekend going? All right. So, all right, please let's mute yourself. Also live on YouTube today. So for um my YouTube viewers that can't see, I'm actually on Zoom meeting. So, well, we'll just kick off. So last week I talked about the 7 characteristics of the ego, and for those of us that were not here, you can visit my YouTube page. I have it on my YouTube page already uploaded, so you can listen to the session again. And for those of us that are here that also want to go through the session again, you can listen to it. I had a session yesterday with some set of people, and I had to go on the same slide over and again. And somebody that was in this meeting last week and was in the meeting yesterday said it was completely something new for them that yesterday. So you can have the same slide, the same session, and completely different time. So the person was able to benefit from yesterday's session, totally different from what she got last week. So you might want to listen to it over again. It happens like that. You want to listen to it over again. Maybe you're busy when you were listening. So we have people joined on YouTube already. So maybe you were busy when you had when I was having the session. So you want to visit my other page on YouTube so that you can hear me. All right, so let's kick off. If you can hear me on YouTube, please signify. Let me know if you can hear me clearly on YouTube. Today, this month, I've actually been talking about vision, and today I want to talk about why sales vision is important as a sales rep, why your sales vision is very important. It is very, very, very important that um, as a salesperson, it is very important you understand the power of vision. And I talked about vision. This is the third session for this series for this month. The first week I talked about vision, introduction to vision. Last week I talked about the 7 characteristics of an ego, and you would agree with me that ego is one of when you talk about vision, ego is one bed that you don't want to mess around with. So it's actually an interesting session last week. So if you're not here, you can go back to my YouTube page and check for that particular session, the 7 characteristics of an ego. I'm sure that it will bless you. You would enjoy it really well. So today I'm going to be talking about why sales vision is very important. So what I really want to talk about is the 4 steps to developing a sales team vision. So first step to developing a vision. We've talked about the importance of it, but right now let's get more practical. Let's be more practical. And before I go into the 4 steps, I want to talk about why it is very important. You'd agree with me that sales vision is important if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business leader, you're a sales rep, you're whatever you are. Sales vision is very important. And like I said, sales is actually the destination of where you are headed. Now, the plans you put in between is the roadmap to the destination. So you want to make sure that the destination is fixed. And so, as a sales rep, it is very much important for you to make sure that your vision is clear. Now, number one thing that a sales vision will do to your team or your organization or to you as a salesperson is that it gives you focus. Now, a sales vision provides a unified direction for your team or for you yourself or for the organization. It gives everybody, it makes everybody understand the direction that we are going to. It gives us focus. That's what it does. So everybody in the organization knows that this is where we are headed. When each member of that team understand and embrace the sales vision, it fosters what we call a sense of purpose, a clear and clarity. Now, it enables them to channel their effort effectively. Now, when everybody in your team, your organization or yourself, and if it's just you as an individual, you are also an organization because right now you might be playing different roles. You're the MD, you are the sales manager, you're playing different roles in the organization. But the truth is this: the thing is, you are a team. You're working as a team because you're playing different roles in that organization. So you want to think as a team. Now, one of the things it does is it enables you to channel your effort effortlessly. We are not just coming to work, or you are not just coming or waking up for the day and doing different things. You are straight and you are direct. It gives you direction. So it helps you focus. That's what it does to you. The second thing it does is motivation. Now, a compelling sales vision is a source of motivation and inspiration for you yourself as an individual or as a salesperson. When you know what you want to achieve, when you understand what you are trying to achieve, your sales vision for the year, this will keep you firing, this will keep you going. That's the motivation that you need to keep going. So what sales vision does to you is, why it's very important to you, is that it gives you motivation to want to wake up and fire to do what you need to do. Because the truth is this: there is nobody that wants to do anything. Nobody. In fact, you just want to wake up and then just have everything all rosy. But because I told you last week that because you have a vision does not mean that the journey will be rosy. Now, the fact that the journey is not rosy, we need motivation to fire on. And this is one thing that your sales vision will do to you. Now, another thing, which is the number three, the third thing that the sales vision will do to you, is for your better decision making. Now, when you know where you are going to, the road to get to where you're going to will be clear to you. You're not guessing where you are going to. You're not guessing the direction. Because you already have a destination, you know the direction that will lead you to that destination. Unlike you don't have a vision, making decisions will be very difficult for you. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? If you're making sense, if you're on my YouTube, just give me a thumbs up. So it helps you with a better decision making. Now, another thing that a sales vision will do to you is collaboration. It helps you with your collaboration. Now, how do I mean by this? A sales vision will foster a sense of unity and collaboration within you as an individual or as a team. So an organization, when there is a sense of a sales vision with you guys, your collaboration sense increases. That's what it does to you. When you're faced with choices, the sales vision is a guide, is a guiding star. Now, it's actually going to help you to make informed decisions, and they are more likely to support each other. So what do I mean? What do I mean by this? Now, what your sales vision does to you is that because everybody knows the destination, now the whole team will work in hand to make sure that you get there. Now, for you as a sales rep or for you as a sales machine, I like using the word sales machine because we, as much as we are human, at the same time, when you are in sales, I want to see you as a machine because it's not easy. So what it does to you is to help you with a sense of collaboration. You know who to talk to because you have a destination. So, for example, you have a goal of hitting a particular figure in your sales. You understand, oh, I need a graphic designer. Oh, I need a, can you mute yourself, please? Mute yourself, Comfort. Yeah, thank you. So I need a graphic designer. Oh, I need somebody to undo my media. Oh, I need somebody to undo my social media. And so you have a sense of collaboration. That's what it does to you. Another thing that sales vision will do to you is accountability. Now, a sales vision enables measurement and accountability. Now, what do I mean by this? When there is a sales vision, it becomes easier to identify gaps and address these challenges and hold individuals accountable for their contribution to the collective vision. Now, so you know where there is you are lacking, you know who need to do one thing that is not doing it, or yourself as an individual, maybe you're the one playing all the roles. So you know, oh, I'm not playing this, I'm not doing this part really well, and it's affecting the productivity or the delivery of my goal or my vision. So it gives you a sense of accountability. I'll run over it again. One, I said it gives you focus. When you have a clear sales vision, it gives you focus. It gives you motivation to want to drive towards it. Now, it helps you with better decision making. And then collaboration, it helps you with the sense of collaboration. You know the kind of people that you need to talk to, the people that you need to relate with, and also a sense of accountability. Now, I want to go straight down into how to develop and achieve a sales vision. The four steps I talked about. Now, the number one thing on my list here is create your sales vision. Create your sales vision. So for the past 3 weeks, I've been talking about vision. Now, we want to practicalize it. This is what I am telling you now. You want to take a pen and a paper and you want to write down your sales vision. I want to believe that many of us on this live right now already have a sales vision for the year. So in case you don't have a sales vision, you want to make sure that you write that down now. So take your pen and your paper and think about it. Write down the sales vision. 1 minute, please. One minute, please. All right, so sorry about the break. I needed to connect something. So the scripture said, write down the vision and make it plain, so that he that sees it may do what? May run with it. Can you guys still hear me? You're still with me? You can hear me clearly. All right, so what I want to do is now creating a sales vision. Write down, create a sales vision. Now, creating your sales vision, I wrote this down, involves envisioning where you want to be in terms of your sales performance within your company or as a personal salesperson. It is an opportunity to set a direction and inspire yourself or your team to strive for greatness. Now, what does this mean? A sales vision can focus on profitability target, or reward and recognition for yourself or for your team. So what does this mean? It means that, for 2025, from March, this is March 22nd, from March 22nd till December, I want to make this X amount of figure, or I want to become the top 3 persons in my industry, or top 3 salesperson in my industry, or I want to be at this level at this point in time. That's a sales vision for you. So you want to make sure that it is specific. You are creating the exact number or figure that you want. Am I making sense? So it is very important to know that a well-crafted sales vision statement should be future focused and same attainable within a reasonable period, typically between the period of 6 to 18 months. So as a salesperson, you just don't want to set a goal for 5 years. You want to make sure that it is attainable. It's something that you can do within the space of 6 to 18 months. So you're writing an exact figure, or you want to be within these top 3 persons. Now, I told you before that when your vision is clear, it helps you know the direction that you are headed. So you know what to do part time to achieve this vision. So the first thing you want to do of the first step is to create your sales vision. So I want to believe that we all have our sales vision right now. And if you don't have your sales vision written down, you want to do that, you might want to go over this session again. It's actually going to be on YouTube for a while. So you want to go over this session again and practicalize what we are talking about today. The second thing I want to talk about is translating the sales vision into goals. Now, it is not enough to have a vision, but when your vision is dated, it becomes a goal. So when it becomes a goal, then you have an actionable plan to work with. So once you have established your sales vision, the next step is to translate it into specific goals. Goals provide a clear target and enables effective communication and understanding of what you need to do within yourself and your team. So you want to make sure that your goal is SMART. Now, there's an acronym for SMART, which is your goal is specific, it is measurable, it is attainable, it is relevant, and it is time bound. Now, when your goal is specific and measurable and attainable and relevant, but it is not time bound, then you are not setting a quality goal for yourself. Because I talked about what your vision will do. It helps you measure, it keeps accountability, helps you being accountable for yourself. So how do you want to measure yourself without when you don't have a time bound for your goal? So it is very important that your goal is specific, very, very specific, and it is measurable. So when I say specific, by December 31st, 2025, I want to make sure that I produce this number of content as a realtor. So I want to make sure that I've been able to produce 50 content as a realtor. I want to make sure that on my videos I get this number of views and this number of likes. I want to make sure that by 2025 December 31st, I want to sell nothing less than 1 billion. Am I making sense? You want to be specific. You are not saying, I want to be the best sales rep. No. I want to be the top 3 in my industry. I want to be the top 5 in my industry. When they mention this industry, I want people to talk about me. So you want to be specific about it. And you want to make sure that, and you can see that the goal is measurable. You want to make sure that your goal is measurable. And then you want to make sure that the goal that you are setting for yourself is not something that will kill you and something that you cannot attain. As much as I'm asking you to set goals for yourself or making sure that your vision is big. I talked about you flying high last week. As much as you want to make sure that your vision is really big, you want to also make sure that it's something that is attainable. You are not just writing out your goals because they ask you to write goals. You want to make sure that it is very much attainable. It's something that you can eat. So if your last year's sales was 1 million, for example, or 10 million, for example, and you want to increase your sales for the year, you can start with a 50 million. Now, 50 million, 6 months, and then you increase your intensity to make sure that, in 6 months, I want to make sure that I hit 60 million or 50 million in sales. Now, gradually, as you bite this 50 million, you begin to increase your motivation towards attaining your goals. And you see that you want to fire more to do well. So it is very much important that your goal is attainable and making sure that it is relevant. You are not just speaking out of the moon. Your goal has to be very, very relevant for you to be able to attain them. And then the last one, which is on the SMART acronym, is time bound. You just don't want to set a goal. My mentor will say it this way. He will say that a goal without a time bound is just a dream. What makes your vision a goal, or breaking down your vision into a goal, is when you have a specific time that you want to achieve it. So by December or by 25th of December or by November, it can be October. It doesn't have to be December. It can be September. In fact, it can be next month. It can be this month. By the end of this month, I want to hit this number of sales. When you're making sure that you set time to everything, this helps your accountability measure. Am I making sense? So you're making sure that it is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and it is time bound. Now, I wrote something. I said to illustrate, let's consider a sales vision of becoming one of the top 5 districts in sales within the company or within your industry within the next 12 months. A relatable SMART goal that aligns with this vision could be to increase sales volume by 10% by June 30th. Remember, I told you that it doesn't have to be by December. So by June 30th, this goal is specific regarding the sales volume. So you are saying by December or by June 30th, I want to increase my sales volume by 10%. So if you're doing 10 million, you're doing 1 million, or you're doing 1 billion right now, you want to increase it by 10%. That's you being specific. That's you being doing something that is attainable. So when you know that you're increasing your effort for last month by 10%, you know everything that you need to do per time. Now, this goal is specific regarding the sales volume, measurable through quantified metrics, attainable within the right strategy and effort. Now, relevant to the overall sales vision and time bound with clear deadlines. So I'm saying that by June 30th, I want to increase my volume by 10%. If I can increase my volume by 10%, this will affect my overall goal. It means that by July, I can also do 10%. So this is affecting on your overall goal. And because of this, you're able to meet your target. Now, the third thing I want to talk about today, I talked about the first one being what? Create your sales vision. The second one is translate the vision into goals. Don't just let it be vision. Translate it into goals. And the fourth thing that you want to, sorry about that. Now, the fourth thing that you want to, the third thing, sorry, that you want to talk about is developing strategies. Now, this is very, very important. So I think I need to face those on live too. So my face on, for those of us on Zoom, my face might be here a little bit because I realized that I'm trying to manage both at the same time. Okay, yeah, so we can do it this way. I think this would work. Now, within your goal, develop strategies. I told you that when you understand where you're going to, the road towards where you're going to will be easy. Now, we know that this is what we want to achieve by June. Or by next month, which is April, I want to increase my sales volume by this amount. What are the things that I need to do to make sure that I hit my target? Now, within your goals, with your goals in place, the next step is developing strategies to propel you towards achieving them. Now, what does this mean? Strategies outline your approach to accomplish your goals and bridge the gap between your current state and the desired outcome. So the strategies that you put in place is what will bridge the gap between your current state right now and the desired outcome that you want to reach. So when you understand where you're going to, this would help you. It will propel you to know what to do part time, who you need to talk to, what you need to do, how you need to go about the sales. So you need to develop a clear strategy. So you're not just talking out of the moon. You are clear about what you want to do. Day one, what do I need to put in place? Day two, what do we need to put in place? Day three, what do we need to put in place? Day four, what do I need to do? The first week, what do I need to do? By the end of the first week, you can measure what you've done and see how the effect on your overall goal. So what I'm doing for this week, how is it affecting the 10% that I want to do by this month? So you want to develop a clear strategy. Now, each strategy should directly be tied to the overarching goal and contribute to its realization. Now, you want to be careful considering and selecting effective strategy. You can lay the foundation for success and guide yourself or your team towards the desired outcome. So when you have a clear strategy, this and this and this are the things that we need to do. This is what we need to say. This is where we need to go. This is who we need to collaborate with. These are the people we need to talk to. So this will help you understand when you're falling behind or when you're short of your goals. So you want to make sure that you develop a clear strategy that will help you achieve this goal. Now, the fourth thing that I will talk about here is identifying tactics. You need to identify tactics. Now, with clear understanding of where you want to go, what you need to achieve, and how you want to get there, it is time to identify the specific action step or tactics required to implement each strategy. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? So now, all right, thank you. So now you know what you want to achieve. Now you know where you are headed. Now you know the road to get to that place. You know the actions that you need to take. It is very, very important for you to develop strategic tactics towards it. So everybody, oh, I need to bring in leads, for example. Everybody is doing this to bring in leads. What can I do differently to bring in my own leads? What do I need to do differently to get my own leads? You have to start thinking differently from the way other persons think. Your tactical approach towards you achieving that which you need to achieve determines how far or how much you achieve it. So because your industry right now, as a realtor, there are a lot of persons in that industry that want to do the same thing. Lot of persons doing the same thing that you're doing. Now, what stands you out? What makes you different from another person? Are you doing your content the same way every other person are doing their content? Are you trying to generate leads the same way every other person is generating their leads? Where are the people turning to? I do digital marketing a lot, and I oversee a couple of digital marketing for different companies. Now, one of the things that I always tell people is when you talk about international audience, for example, the things that, or you talk about clients in diaspora, the places that come to people's head is UK, Canada, and US. Those are the three countries that come to people's head. And when people run their heart towards that direction, these are the three places most times that they focus on. What happened to other European countries? Is it that we don't have Nigerians in there? So you want to be able to identify major activities or benchmarks that you need to put in place. What are the things that people are not doing in my industry that I need to start doing? Because this is one thing that will set you out there. This is one thing that will put you out there in the face of people. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Now, either you're working as an individual or a realtor, you want to make sure that, now these are the tactics that you need to put in place. One, you want to identify major activities or benchmarks that you need to put in place. Two, you want to define responsibilities and allocate resources. So you want to, as an organization, you want to make sure that who is in charge. Now, as an individual, you should not be killing yourself. You should be able to identify your strengths and be able to allocate to other persons responsibilities that help in achieving the overall goal. So you don't want to be the one doing everything. No, you want to be the one doing this. You want to be the one doing the graphics. You want to try as much as possible to highlight tasks to people that will help you to stay focused. There is a responsibility for you as an individual. Now, as the head realtor or as the managing director of an organization that manages sales rep, you want to make sure that you understand your own task as an individual. What role do I need to play that would affect the team? Who needs to play another role in the organization that will affect the general vision of the organization? So you don't want to kill yourself with tasks. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? All right, thank you. So the third thing you want to talk about there, is specified target date for completion. Now, these are the things I've talked about before in the acronym SMART. You want to have a target date. For me, in my head, I have dates every time. And I try as much as possible to communicate this with my people. So there's a specific date. Now, the truth is this. You can have an overall goal to hit a particular target by the end of the year or by the end of a period. And for that month, you're not meeting up to that target. You might not be meeting up to that target. In my head, I'm trying to strategize what do we need to do to boom the next month. So, but you want to put in all effort to make sure that you achieve that which you need to achieve. So what have I talked about today? I will just run through it quickly. Today is actually going to be more for questions. I want to hear from people. So I talked about why your sales vision is important, and I talked about 5 things under that. I talked about focus, motivation, better decision making, collaboration, and accountability. And then I talked about the how to develop your sales vision, 4 steps that you need to put in place to develop your sales vision. The first thing I talked about there is creating your sales vision, which I've emphasized so much for the past 3 weeks, creating your sales vision. The second thing I talked about here is translating your vision into goals. You just don't want it to be vision. The good book put it this way. He said, write out the vision, make it plain, so that he that sees it may run with it. So that whoever sees the vision can understand it. Whoever sees the vision can run with it. They understand that which you are trying to achieve. Is that clear? And you want to make sure that your vision is smart, it is measurable, it is attainable, it is relevant, and it is time bound. It's very, very important. So you want to work with that acronym. I know it might sound so easy, but whatever you want to do, if you can figure it out with, if you can fix it within this acronym, making sure that your goals are really smart, really specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, relevant, and time bound. And then the third thing I talked about of the 4 steps is developing quality strategies. You want to make sure that you develop the right strategy that will help you hit your goals for the month. And I talked about the fourth thing, which is identifying the tactics, the right tactics to put in place for you to be able to achieve what you need to achieve. Right here, I believe that I've been able to confuse you again today on why you need to why you need to follow up on your vision and how you can put it into place. I want to take questions quickly. Today is a very quick session, so I want to take questions from people. If you have questions for me, I want to have those questions. I want to believe that for the past 3 weeks that we've been talking about vision, you should have 1 or 2 questions. So today I want to leave room to address people's questions and also understand areas that people need me to touch. So if you're on this live, you're on my live, or you're on my Zoom session right now, I want you to be able to specify areas that you think that we need to start, I need to talk about. You can leave it in the comment section if you don't want to unmute yourself. On my live session, you can also leave it in the comment section right now. So thank you so much once again for joining this live session today. I will leave the room open for questions. And I expect questions from almost everybody here. You're welcome, Glory. Yes. So you have, when you say that, come again with the question. So you have multiple streams of income. Impact. All right. So for those on the live that can't hear this question, I will just repeat the question. Now, for you that have or you want to create multiple source of income, is that what you? If I'm wrong, please let me know. So multiple source of income, and then you have vision for all of them. How are you? How will you be able to marry them together? Is that a question? All right, beautiful. So when you say multiple streams of income, it means that you're doing 1 or 2 or 3 things at the same time, right? And you can create a vision for everything that you want to achieve. Now, the most important thing that you need to understand here is time management. That's the first thing that you want to understand when you have multiple streams of income. Now, as much as I do real estate, I also do other things. A lot of things that many people don't know, just to generate income. Now, one thing that is very important, now it seems to me that even 24 hours is not enough, because even thinking alone can take all the time. You want to try as much as possible to first be able to balance yourself. So your time management skill has to be worked on first. If you can work on your time management, then you know that, oh, for this period to this period, this is what I want to focus on. This is the part of my life or the part of the income I want to focus on. The truth is, we think that our brain can multitask, but if you read about it truly, our brain does not multitask. Our brain only switch. So you can only switch from one task to another. You can't do 3 or 4 different tasks or 2 different tasks at the same time. Am I clear? Am I clear on that? You can do your research about it. So you want to make sure that you are not chunking your brain. There's something in psychology we call chunking. Now, what is chunking? Chunking is the process of having too many things at the same time in your head. Now, when you have too many things at the same time, it's like you taking a pen and then you're beginning to write scattered things. Like you're just drawing lines that are not connected to each other, just drawing them. They are scattered. So you have, oh, I'm doing this business, I work here, I'm doing this business, I'm doing that business. Everything is chunked in your head. What you want to do first is to be able to arrange them. So you want to specify each task and arrange them to each other. So if you have for example, you're working somewhere and you also have a business that you're running or a brand that you're building, and you have customers that you deal with in your brand, and you also have customers that you handle in the business. Now you want to specify the customers that you handle in the business and customers you handle in your brand. What are the needs of these people? When can I meet their needs that it will not affect the other income that I'm working on? How do I target those people? When do I need to talk to those people? So you can't do the two at the same time. When you're trying to do the two at the same time, what you're doing to your brain is you're stressing your brain. And that's one state that you don't want to get to. This is one thing that, or one area that people get to, and then you see them, they are doing too many things at the same time and they are not productive. For you to be able to be productive at everything that you're doing, you want to make sure that you manage your time. I manage my time to the time that I sleep. And I'm not shy about it. To the time that I sleep. And I'm very, very conscious about it. When it's time for this work, I know that I have to do this work. When it's time for this work, I know this is what I want to do now. When it's time for this is what I want to do. It is very much important that you manage your time. When you can manage your time well, you would see that your productivity level would increase. That it will seem like you are not stressing yourself and you are achieving a lot. Am I making sense? Can you still hear me? So marrying everything together is based on how you manage your time. When you can arrange those processes in your head, so creating process for everything that you do. So I know that, oh, this is the first thing that needs to come for my day. This is the second thing I need to do for my day. For this job or for this source of income, this is when I want to round up on this and then switch to another and then switch to another. The time that I need to study for myself or to develop myself, I don't switch it thinking of work. As much as it look like I'm thinking work 247, I try as much as possible to shut down that period. And when it's time for me to sleep, I try as much as possible to shut down work. Consciously in my head. When it's time for me to do these activities, I know that this is the activity that I want to do at that time. That way, I am not creating stress for myself. I am not stressing myself out. And I am increasing my productivity level. If I can assign the task to another person, fine, I do that. So that way, when you can define your time really well, then you can put in every task that you need to do into your time, your 24 hours. And I believe that this will help your productivity. Have I been able to answer your question? All right. All right. Any other question? Any other question? If there's no question, it means I have to ask you guys question. So everybody's muted and nobody's unmuting. Nobody's unmuted. All right, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to session, what are the topic you need me to talk about next month? What do you think is the major thing that is affecting you? I just want to have people's perspective. Let me understand really clearly, so I know where to touch next month. I just don't want to develop a course and then come and then teach about it. At the same time, I want to understand the point or the places that we need to touch. So you want to do well to type in the comment section or in the group what you think that we should talk about next month. Is that fine? Is that fine? Mazi Ugochukwu, you joined us really late. We're about rounding up the session, but it's still fine. You can go on my YouTube page, Samson Uyi, and watch the session live there. So for those of us that always want the recorded version, and I think that please you want to, for my team members there, you want to share the link on my of the YouTube page in the group so that people can also watch. People that miss the session can also watch the session. Is that fine? Are we good? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. So please, that was loud. That was really loud. So, in the absence of questions, I want to say thank you very much for joining the session once again. Today we talked about something really, really easy and clear steps you need. It's not just enough to talk about vision, but the steps that you need to follow to create your sales vision. So for Mazi, you came in late, and those of us that didn't meet up early, you can join it. Once this session is over, I believe that you should upload on my YouTube page straight away, and you can go there to watch. Thank you once again for your time. I really appreciate this session. Have a wonderful night, rest,